Welcome back, guys. Parse Productions here for the second round of the Forest Fury Open. Premier sponsor Legacy Discs and Kaposia Pro Shop. We're playing the gorgeous Kaposia disc golf course. This is an iconic course here in Minnesota. It's been around forever. We have a really fun league card here. We got Cale, Leiviska, Terry Rothlisberger, as well as a couple of locals, Josh Miller and Rob Lemke. It's a really fun Minnesota card we have here. We have to feature some of our other locals. And we have hole one starting off. Slight downhill the whole way. Fairway falls off left to right. And there's this added OB as well on the left. You can see it'll be flagged when we get there. And this green's very tricky. You can see those rocks around. Easy to roll away. Easy to get hidden behind one of those trees as well, too.
We got another beautiful day out here on the course. A little windy, but I definitely think we can manage through it. It's not raining, so...
Yeah, I guess it was pretty wet after the crazy rain and the delays that we had, so we were just looking to get off on time this round and have some fun.
I'm throwing a Z Buzz OS right here, and skipped a little bit uphill, but I think I'm still inside the circle.
Yeah, and that's all you're looking to do. Give yourself a putt on this hole. Again, green's very tricky, so the closer you are to the basket, obviously the better. Josh, he's ending up a little short. It's kind of that weird range where you probably don't want to run it too much. Some people might even just lay it up from that spot. And Rob Lemke, really good friend of mine. Again, there's a couple locals here that have some game, and they're gonna be fun to watch. Rob, unfortunately, getting into that OB we talked about. You can see the flags and the paint. It's a little bit taller grass as well too, so it's really cool the way it looked. Again, made a little bit of an extra challenge to this course, especially these first 3 holes. Even 4 holes, it comes into play. And these are holes that you want to get birdies on, so when you have that little added OB, it makes it a little bit more dangerous.
Yeah, Tylor, Igou did a fantastic job, and along with all the volunteers that helped clean up the course. The course looked better than I've ever seen it, so
yeah.
hats off to you guys.
Josh was running it there. Like I said, that's kind of that 50, 60 foot. That's a dangerous range on this green. Especially
if you hit either side of one of those trees and you're gone. I mean, it's...
Yeah, and obviously Kaposia Pro Shop doing a great job on this course. They kind of run the business around here, kind of keep some order. But they made this course look awesome. Cale, really a tough putt there, but he put it in, dead center.
Yeah, it was a great putt. Downhill, literally nothing but
air.
Bottom of the bucket.
Or I thought you were talking about past the basket.
No.
There. Cale, nothing but bucket. And here's Terry trying to go nothing but bucket as well. Following suit.
And I was scared.
And that sign that he hit below the basket can be kind of dangerous. It's made of some metal, and it can cut your disc up if you don't hit it on the right side. Josh has about 22 feet. I think he's putting this in.
I am.
He's a confident putter. He's got a solid game.
Rob's got about 22 feet as well.
Yeah, this will be for his bogey, unfortunately, but he's also got a very clean putt. Very fun to watch.
There we go.
Yeah, that's a good one to hit. I know it's for a 4 and doesn't feel great, but it went in.
First putt of the round, always nice if it goes in.
Yeah.
I'm tapping out for my par.
Yeah, so Cale with a lone birdie. This one you kind of want to get. It's tough, though, starting off on camera. These 2 locals here probably haven't had a ton of film coverage before.
Going into hole 2. OB on the left, and there is a little bit of OB in that. Oh, there is OB on the right side.
Yep.
You just want to play like a straight hyzer shot.
Yeah, you just want this to fade a little bit. You know, kind of a stable to overstable mid-range works best. Some people might be throwing a fairway driver. I think Cale's going with his A3. He just trusts it. He can rip it flat, and it's just going to fade back into the hole. Just like that. And I think that's the same spot he landed first round, like 20 foot downhill. Very satisfied with that shot. And Terry probably throwing that Buzz OS again.
Hoping to do the same thing.
Yeah,
put it right inside the circle.
Having a fun time watching Terry throw this disc.
I was really happy with that shot. I mean, it ended up inside the circle.
I thought that was you complaining again, and then the disc just ending up in the perfect spot. But maybe I'm wrong. Here we go. We got Josh.
Throwing his...
He's sponsored by Legacy, so this might be a nice stable ghost of his. And oh, wow. He flew the basket. That thing was running.
Rob, I believe, is throwing a...
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know Rob's bag the best, but that looks like a pretty overstable disc. Might even have been a fairway driver. I can't tell if it was safe or not. I think he was.
Just right outside the circle.
Yeah. And downhill, but it's not like a scary death putt because it does flatten out.
Gave it a good bid.
Yeah. Terry, probably 25 feet.
This would be a good putt to start off the round.
Yeah, especially after missing that last 30-footer. That one feels good. Cale being the nice guy, giving Terry his gear. Cale, I like that, giving himself a second there before the putt. You know, making sure he's focused, making sure he's ready. And I can't believe that didn't stick. That looked pretty solid.
And Josh, ace ran it. He's got a nice, just barely inside the circle look at it.
Yeah. Again, he's a solid putter. He's going to give us a good bid if it doesn't go in.
Oh.
Again, probably just hit a little high, but looked pretty close to center. So looks like Terry's going to be walking away with the lone birdie here. Everybody else should be tapping in their pars.
That's not very often where there's only one birdie on this hole.
Yeah. Back-to-back holes here. We've had only one birdie
Oh, yeah,
on each
that
hole.
is true.
So, and you can see all these wood chips. I can't remember a time we came to this course and there weren't wood chips.
Yeah.
It's nice having these. They keep you close to the basket as well, too, when you have a good shot.
And keep it less muddy.
Yeah,
like
especially with how much water we had yesterday. Here we go, Rob.
What is that disc?
I don't know. It'll just look really stable, though. Again, really cool looking up the flight paths here, diagrams of each player. Really unique to see. Here we got hole 3, par 3, 270 feet. Uphill, we got cool little rock green here. Kind of lines it out. The rocks here, the first set of rocks are about 50 feet, maybe 45. And the second set is about 20 feet or so, 15 feet. So those are kind of your marks. You can get into those rocks. You give yourself a good putt. I think a forehand or a lefty hyzer shot, backhand hyzer, works best into this green. If you can get it a little long, if the disc starts fading out back left, it's going to go down the hill and you're going to have a long putt.
I'm throwing the Raptor, and I put a little bit of juice on that one. Put it just outside the circle.
The line looked perfect, though. That's exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, just got a little bit of roll off the skip as well.
And again, that whole right side is OB. Where those tree line is, there's flags up that whole right side, and Cale throwing one of those buttery
throwing that
turnovers.
PA3 again.
Just butter turnover. Josh probably going mid-range here, I would think. Maybe another one of those ghosts, maybe a beat-in base plastic or something. Yeah, if that keeps returning, that's going to be nice.
Yep.
And
Great shot.
Faded just a little bit at the end there, I think, but he'll still be 25 feet or so.
Rob throwing a M4?
Is it an M4? I know he throws a lot of buzzes, too.
Yep. Think he's been switching in some Prodigy.
He's got a really pretty release and shot. Probably want a little bit more air under that, maybe turn it over just a little bit, but he'll still have a putt.
He's probably got the camera jitters a little bit.
Yeah, this is probably his first time on film, and I know he doesn't play a ton of tournaments as well either. Seen him a lot of the leagues around, and he's just always a solid player, always one of the guys to beat. And that was a really close putt from probably about 50 feet.
So look just outside the circle. A little bit of a death putt going, but as long as I just hit the bucket or in the bucket, then I don't have to worry about that. That one hurts.
You got to stop walking, Terry.
I'm not walking at all. Next year, I'm done walking.
Done walking. Josh, I want him to put this one in here. This would feel good for him. Yeah. Money.
Great putt.
That was dead center, perfect height, perfect speed.
Cale looking to just tap in his birdie from about 15. There we go. That's a nice 2.
Yep.
It's always a good start to get first 2 out of 3.
Yeah, that's kind of your mark. Try to get 2 out of the first 3. If you get 3 out of the first 4, you're feeling really good about your start. Nice comeback there from Rob. Solid putt. There it is. You got it. Yeah, pretty view here of Josh banging that putt. And Cale extending that lead, getting one more on Terry. Hopefully it's not just a 2-man horse race here, but kind of starting to look that way, I think.
Going into hole 4. Trouble on the left. Trouble early, yeah, but as long as you just get it up and over. There's also OB about 40 feet from the bucket on the right side there where the long grass is. If you go too deep, there's a drop off, and then as you can see right there, most people are throwing a fairway driver to a driver.
Yeah, Cale throwing a really nice flex shot here.
Gorgeous shot.
He's almost doing it too well.
And that's that drop off we were talking about.
Yeah, I think it just fell off the edge. And that kind of makes it a tough putt, especially if you're right behind it. You kind of have to putt from your chest, but he's been working on that spin putt. You might have a decent look at it. And the tree that he went by and those rocks that you see are about that kind of circle's edge. That's your market you want to hit. Shot, that looks really nice too.
Nice shot.
Oh yeah, he's right next to those rocks.
Just inside the circle. Or,
yeah.
Just probably circle's edge. I'm throwing a Z Undertaker here. Hoping for a little bit of flex.
Oh, these are a couple of really pretty shots here.
I hit those rocks just inside the circle again.
Yep. Let's see if Rob can follow suit and give us 4 looks at birdie here on a bonus hole.
Oh, that was a bad
just
kick.
Catching it. He could have snuck through that, but he's gonna have a tough up and down now. Looks like he's going high here.
Probably letting the wind carry it.
Yeah.
There you go. It was a good out.
Got out, but not really a look at your par. So a long look, and if you run it too hard, it can get by really quick. Give yourself a tough tester.
He's got that.
Trying.
Pretty step putt. Oh, sit down.
Don't do that.
Oh no.
Oh no way.
And he's gonna have that putt again.
That's not what you're looking for when you're already putting for your par from 60. He's probably got about a good 42 feet or so. Let's get this one here, Rob. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, kind of a tough start for Rob. Not what you want when you're on camera for the first time in a long time, if ever.
Hopefully he simmers a little bit down and gets rid of those jitters.
Josh just off on the left side. Terry from about 25 feet, slight uphill putt. He's looking to put this one in and put the pressure on Cale. Yeah,
Beautiful
solid.
catch.
Solid.
It was a good, kind of first just outside or just at the circle's edge putt to start off the round.
Cale again, kind of having to keep it above his waist or so.
That was a great putt.
Yeah, because he's been working on that spin, like we said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the retaining wall is probably about 4 feet high when you're standing right at it. So I mean, if you have a spin putt, it's pretty nice to get or to have.
I would agree there.
Josh tapping in for his par, and Rob tapping in for I believe is 5.
Yeah, double bogey. Yeah, hopefully Rob can bounce back here and get something going. Yeah, beautiful putt there, Terry. Hole 5, par 4, 410 feet. Pretty straight shot, but it does kind of curve just a little to the right or bend a little to the right and then straighten out again. Hole falls away to the right the whole way. Woods, trees, all outside the fairway, so you want to keep this as straight as you can for as long as you can. Definitely gettable too, but you don't see it very often. Most people are trying to just throw mid-range and keep it in the fairway and not try to do too much. Here's Cale throwing his blue M4 that we've been seeing him throw.
Needs it to turn a little bit more.
Oh, that's kind of the tree that you just hit.
Yeah, if you beat that one, you're usually just outside the circle.
Yeah,
but
you beat that tree, you give yourself a look, pretty much.
I'm looking to do the same thing that Cale did.
And I think really to get all the way to the hole, you have to throw a fairway, but most people here are throwing just a mid-range. You can get there, but it's just a lot tougher to do.
Hit the same tree that Cale did.
Yeah. His did the same thing first round too.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't tell if Josh was throwing something sharper or not.
He turned that one a little early and hit that tree right there.
Yeah, and that's where you can get some weird kicks. Put yourself in a really tough position or still give yourself a chance of getting up and down. Like Rob's throwing a mid-range, it looks like here.
Just trying to get to the opening.
Oh,
there we go.
And that's what I know Rob for. Just throwing buttery lines like that.
Great shot.
Yeah, he's got no more than 100, 120 feet left.
That's probably like one of the best just fairway hits right there. Yeah. That's what you want to look at or look for on this hole.
And Josh, it looks like he's going to have a chance at getting up and down, but it's not going to be easy. He's got a patent pending. Just has to throw kind of a straight shot. He might have even been more encumbered than we could tell because he looked like he was trying to bend that one a little bit.
He kind of fought a little bit up there, so
maybe having a long outside look, or at least just an easy up and down for his par. Cale with a very rare forehand.
One fingy.
I don't know if he's still throwing the one fingy or not, but
it's that one fingy.
Yeah, but I mean that's really all he has from where he is though.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean his shot was a foot or two from being perfect.
Yep. This shot that he's throwing it's so touchy. Yep. Like if you would have put it a little bit softer, it probably would have just went right up there, but it was a little rough. And I saw what Cale did, so I was like, I got to throw the backhand because I didn't know if I had the touch or not to get up there.
Yeah, and it looked like Cale was maybe a little further into the woods as well, too.
Mm-hmm.
He might not have had as much of an option at that backhand. And here's Rob looking for hopefully an easy up and down.
Yep. Great shot.
Cale, this actually looks like a pretty tough up and down for his par. And he's probably about 80 feet away. Oh. maybe a little close, maybe like 60. But that was a
Almost
great
puts it
bid
in.
without being able to see the basket at all. And Josh did get up here, like you said. Looks like maybe just outside the circle.
Hopefully you can put this in.
Yeah.
Hey!
Smash. That was probably closer to 45, actually.
Great putt.
Yeah.
That's always nice to get your birdie after not a very clean tee shot.
Yeah, he's a solid putter when he gets it going.
Rob for birdie. There we go.
Yeah, I like the way Rob plays. It's a very simple game. Doesn't have a ton of extra movements to his stroke. Terry, easy birdie as well. And then Cale will be tapping in his par here.
Another look at Josh's big putt.
Yeah, with that lean back. Yeah, fun round here. I mean, let's go, Terry. Getting a stroke back on Cale and trying to fight, trying to put that pressure on. Cale's a tough guy to catch. We all know him in Minnesota. He's been whooping our butts for how long now, and we're just still trying. Always one of us trying to beat him each tournament. It feels like.
Mm-hmm. Hole 6 here. You just want to throw either a mid-range or like a straight fairway driver. Don't go left, don't go right. A little hairy in there. I'm throwing a Z Undertaker.
Yeah, you can hear the I-35s right next to us. You hear all the. Is it 52? It is 52. Highway 52 is right next to us. You can hear all the cars. But Terry, just a beautiful shot. What do you got left, Terry?
Part job.
Oh, like nothing? That was a perfect shot. You want the disc flipping up. As soon as it gets over the hill here and flattens out, you want your disc starting to straighten. And, I mean, that you couldn't ask for much better.
No, that was like probably the most ideal shot I've ever had on that hole.
And Josh trying to follow suit and looked like he was just a little off. But he fought through. Hopefully he has a fairly easy up and down. The green itself is a little fast as well.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be a little careful as you're approaching the green.
Rob a little early, going left side.
Looks like it kicked out back to the fairway a little bit, just past that tree on the left. And he'll have an up and down, probably about 180 feet.
Cale with that H4 V2.
Look at that angle he puts that thing on to start. Oh.
Just right side, but it looked like it kicked out to the left a little bit.
Yeah, I think he'll be right on the edge of the fairway.
Oh, Rob did kick to the middle.
Yep, here's Rob. He said probably about 200 feet or so.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is just a little touchy upshot, so it kind of gets in your head a little bit.
It's probably about 100 left, maybe just outside or just inside of 100.
Cale for about 120, just easy straddle jumper to 10 feet.
I think Josh can give this a bid. Oh,
trying to lean back with it again.
Just off the front of the cage. Great bid. Rob for par. Oh, looked like it just went right in front of the chains.
Yeah, that was a close one. And I like both the styles of putts there. You know, we got the highs are coming in. It seems like it's going to stay close if they miss even. And Terry, making easy work of this hole. Bonus.
This hole is always a good one to get. It's definitely a tweener between. I mean, either you get you can get in trouble really really quickly.
Yeah, so 4 can come into play very quickly, and the twos are pretty rare, with how much risk there is on this hole.
These guys tapping out their threes.
Yep, and you're just fine with a 3. You're not mad about it at all.
No.
But I'm just ecstatic about this.
I knew Cale was up by 1, so I needed to get this hole.
And there's Terry catching Cale, which is, I think it's going to be a fun battle, guys. Moving into hole 7, 305 feet, par 3. Straight shot to start for the first 200 feet, then it bends to the left and kind of straightens out a little bit again. And it's a tricky shot to hit, kind of a finesse shot, but as long as you get the disc going through the gap, finishing to the left, you're probably going to give yourself something.
It's one of my favorite holes on the course. Anything to do with like a hyzer flip to stand up, those are what I like throwing. I'm throwing a buzz. Was
that one of those happy claps, or?
It turned out a lot better than it should have been.
And he'll have about 50 feet or so. Definitely be a challenging putt, but it's uphill, not a ton to worry about. Josh probably throwing one of these ghosts, I think. Just trying to flip it up to flat and get it finishing to the left.
Don't flip.
That's the mistake you see a lot.
You just went a little bit too straight.
Yep, you're throwing that straighter disc, trying to hyzer flip it, and it just ends up going straight on you and doesn't finish to the left like you want it to. Yeah, and Cale throwing this yellow disc. We believe it's an H4 V2.
It looked like you just put a little bit too much hyzer on it.
Yeah. He'll have a long putt, kind of similar to Terry. And this is kind of Rob's shot, I think. Like that inside hyzer where the disc is going straight for most of the route. And that looked pretty good. Fading just a little early, but, I mean, he's CTP of the group, probably about 30 feet.
Still worked out really nice. Josh has those 2 big trees in the way, so he's going to have to either throw the ante or throw a nice little hyzer.
So he's jump putting, and that's going to be a really tough up and down here. Hopefully he can bang this for his 3, but he's got a good 60 feet.
Get in there. Oh.
That looked so good.
I got about 50, 55 feet.
Yeah, you were just in front of where Josh was there.
Hopefully I don't walk it in. Yep, see? Didn't walk it in.
It wasn't quite the confident putt we see by Terry. Looked like it just kind of fell out of his hand a little bit. And Cale a little closer than it looked off the tee. He's probably got maybe 45 feet, but he's right in between a couple trees. And it's a tough lie for him.
Oh, just off the front.
Yeah, it was another inch or so, and he's in the basket.
Yeah, he had those leaves and sticks right in his his stance, so he couldn't really get the full like pop on it.
Yeah, and Rob from about Circle's Edge. Yeah.
There we go, Rob.
Yeah, it's so clean, so smooth.
That'll get your round started.
Yeah, and he'll get the lone birdie on the card. Josh be hopefully tapping in his bogey here, and Terry should be tapping in his par. Again, we want to thank Tylor Igou for running just an awesome tournament. It's been a lot of fun. We had some weird weather yesterday, and they pulled something off that we weren't sure if it was going to work or not, but I think it worked out as good as it could have by doing a shotgun start and a staggered tee time, and I think it worked out as good as it could have.
Yeah.
With how many players we had.
And also, thank you to Kaposia Disc Golf or Pro Shop for everything that they did with the course. It looks great.
Yeah, for how much water we got, it really didn't seem that bad. I didn't see a ton of slips out there. And we're moving into hole 8, par 4. It's listed at 525 feet. Plays a little bit longer than that because you're throwing so uphill right away. But you're just trying to throw a straight shot that fades to the left, gets you in a good landing zone, and then it's a really tricky green. You got these rocks to deal with, and then that big pine tree that just seems to catch discs. And if you get behind that pine tree, you don't have a putt at all. The roads will be out to, that's long and to the right of the hole. And there is a fence line on the left. It doesn't really come into play too much, though. Maybe going just a little straight, but I think it'll be just fine.
That's the ideal landing zone. That's a great shot.
Yeah, but obviously the closer you can get to the hole, the easier the upshot is probably going to be. But you can't ask for much better than where he ended up.
Throwing ESP force, and it decided to flip on me.
And that was not the happy clap?
No.
And hopefully it didn't go too long. He might be in a position down to the right there. It's kind of a tricky upshot from over there if you get there.
There definitely was a lot more wind than it looks. As soon as you get over that hill, it was really windy.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm pretty sure my disc flipped up as well too on this hole.
Cale throwing his D1 max, I believe.
And you can see how these trees like shaking up here as well too.
That's a great shot.
Yep. Yeah, perfect. Here's Josh looking to follow suit, hopefully. Looks like he might have turned a little bit too. Or if he caught some...
Oh.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, he turned over
wow.
and got a nasty roll.
Wow.
So
he ended up being OB.
Yeah, that's not where you want to be. It's a really tough upshot from down there too, and it's going to be really tough for him to get his par here. Just behind the pine tree, that's just past those rocks, and if you land on those rocks weird, or if you get caught in that pine tree...
Ooh, that's a great shot.
Yeah. I mean, you could get in a lot of trouble on this hole, and that was perfect.
So I have like a flex forehand line. I could go hyzer, but I didn't want to play with the OB there. This is... I sent it. And I got really lucky.
Oh, did that pop over the rocks?
It's on the just on the other side of those rocks.
So it didn't roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did get lucky.
I know.
Yeah, that branch slowed it up just enough without catching it too much.
Because that could have...
You want to land the disc about 20 feet to the left of the hole and let it filter towards it.
Rob with a great upshot.
Yeah.
Probably just outside circle's edge.
Probably scarier putt than you want with how close that downhill is to it. This is kind of bread and butter range for Cale. I expect him to make easy work of this. You can lay it right up to the rock line, and that's about 15 feet or so. But that's not what you want to do. Yeah, he might have fought.
He did make it to a kind of the front side. He's probably within 15 feet, but again, he's in a pine tree, so it's gonna make the putt tough.
Hopefully, Cale did his yoga this morning, and Rob just missing a little high. Disappointed, but he gave it a good effort.
Josh, hopefully tapping in.
Yeah, that's a great par.
That's a great par. Yeah.
Yeah. Terry, tricky putt. I mean, especially if you're close to those rocks, you're kind of putting from your chest again, like we talked about with Cale on hole 4.
I wish I was 5 feet tall, or 5 inches taller, not 5.
I thought you meant like 5 feet taller.
Oh no. And this is not what I wanted to see.
And that was a very tricky shot. You could see that it just couldn't get it to stick.
So now I have to putt from the same exact spot I just missed.
Yeah. And is this Cale in here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just on the... He's still in the tree, but he looks like he has a lane right there.
Yeah, and for being like a 15-foot putt, 12-foot putt, this is very, very tricky.
And he's got that spin putt, so
yeah,
just jams it.
That's about all he can do, just a little wrist flick.
And me, I had some time to think about what I did wrong last putt, so I'm going to do this again.
Yeah. And it's tough because Terry has such an up and down putt. And when you're putting uphill, you got to go over a rock. It's tough to get it back down. And did much better there, keeping the height.
The basket caught that one.
Got to give credit where credit's due, you know.
So I was lucky to get away with my par there. So I'm not happy about it, but I'm not really mad.
Yeah. So Cale will be taking the lone birdie. Feeling good about that. Getting another stroke there and taking the lead here. hole 9 here next. We got 185 feet. Again, this is the coin flip hole. Just trying to throw it straight, try to beat these trees, but we got these literally skinny lines. And it's kind of a lot of people don't like playing this hole. I mean, that's just the way to put it. But we all got to play it. We're all playing the same shot. It's only 185 feet, so you're trying to put this in and get it close.
Cale with a nice. Oh.
And that was a great shot.
I literally thought he was.
I mean, it looked like he was in the perfect line and just hits the trees on the right. Misses that tree and he's parked.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still got maybe 35 feet or so and maybe one tree to miss in front of him.
I was really happy with that grip lock, but it turned out a lot better than I thought.
Yeah, I think we talked about it yesterday as well too, in yesterday's round. It's not a hole that you for very often, but it's a coin flip if you're going to get through this gap, even if you throw the perfect shot.
Sometimes. You definitely want to get the birdie. It's definitely there, and Rob throws the ideal lane.
Yeah, he just came inside that tree that Cale hits, and he's got 12, 15 feet left. Josh giving it a little too much height, I think. But he travels down there. He's probably got no more than 25 feet. And Terry, long putt. Got to spin it in, and he does. Oh, let's go. Walk it in. Finally, he's right this time.
Finally got to walk one in. I was super pumped about that one.
And that puts the pressure right back on Cale. Looks like he might be just outside the circle even. Really long straddle. He's got a couple trees in front of him.
Boom. Jammed
Yeah.
it. That was a great putt.
Yep, there's the answer.
It was just inside. It was just inside the circle. Still great putt from, he had the tree right in his way. So
here's Josh, maybe not even 18 feet or so.
There we go.
I almost looked like I was going to jump out of the basket.
We're looking at a birdie or a star.
Yeah,
a star frame.
I want to guess a star frame after seeing these drives either. Terry had a really long putt. Cale had a pretty tough straddle. Even Josh and Rob don't have the easiest putts here. There's just so many trees around this green. Yep.
There we go.
Solid.
We got our star frame.
Solid. Again, one you want to get is 185 feet. We all have that shot in our bag. And that's a really pretty look from there, too.
I knew Cale was going to make his putt, so I was like, I had to at least give it a chance.
Yeah.
Hole 10, 385 feet, slightly downhill. There's trouble left and right. Most people are going to be throwing a fairway or a mid-range. My disc of choice is going to be the Z-Buzz.
Yeah, I go with my M4 myself. You want that kind of hyzer flip to straight finish. And you just don't want to hit left or right because there's a lot of trouble you can get in. And I would call this a bonus hole.
Mm-hmm. Cale through his M4. Looked like it kind of slipped out of his hand, but yeah, he's still in the middle of the fairway. So
just threw it a little low. He's still got a good 50, 60 foot putt. He'll give that a good bid. And the green kind of falls off to the left. So if you're throwing this right-hand backhand shot and you don't get it going straight or turning over, it likes to fall away from the hole pretty quick. And Terry, I mean, he can't do much better than that. That straight to hyzer flip and just held flat and rolled over right at the end.
One of my favorite shots in disc golf.
Yeah, really pretty shot.
Rob.
Looks like he might have got over a little too much, but it's coming back.
Still working back. Oh.
Yeah.
It's still about middle of the fairway, maybe a little bit right side. He should have a look for two.
And that's not a bad play as right-hand, backhand player. It still gets you down there. He probably would have been, within 30 feet or so of the basket, but he would have been down there for a putt if it would have missed that last tree. Josh trying to follow suit with Terry and Cale. Had a really nice
Very
turnover.
nice.
It's a little low, but he's still got
Still got
40,
a putt,
45 foot putt. Here's Rob after hitting that tree just to his right there for his right-hand backhand. It's a tough putt. You got to keep it turning over the whole way without hitting those trees.
Ooh, just hyzered out right before the bucket.
And 3's not a bad score on this hole. Can get out of control quick sometimes.
Let's go. Let's go. Get it.
Oh, Terry calling for it.
I love seeing those big putts go in.
And Cale looked really smooth on that shot. It looked like he had a good chance. He's a little bit longer than I think I thought.
Yeah,
off the tee
it
box.
looks like a little 50,
Cale's
60
probably closer
feet.
to 80, and I think Josh is probably closer to 60. But Stenzel 60, real close.
And these guys will tap out their pars.
Yeah, don't worry, Terry. You can get your birdie here in a second. Yeah, as you can see, this is kind of middle to end of July, and the foliage is pretty insane right now. Pretty amazing how well they're able to keep this course cleaned up for us. A lot of these lines really close down if the foliage gets to be too much, and they left just the right amount for us.
Yeah, they did a great job cleaning this course up. There we go, tapping out for par, and me with the lone birdie.
Finally, Terry gets to play too. Beautiful.
I think I got that hole both rounds.
Yeah, that's a very impressive birdie to get. It's a really pretty shot when you hit it, but very tough to execute.
Tied it back up.
Ties it up. And it looks like it is turning into that 2-horse race, at least on this lead card. Hole 11, par 4, 490 feet. For some of the bigger arms, you can get up there and give yourself a putt. But overall, you're just trying to get out of this gap, finish over to the left here without getting back into the tree line, and give yourself a fairly easy up and down for maybe 100, 120 feet. That street out there was all OB, and then as well there's a pond behind the hole. Pretty tough to get to that pond. It's a good distance past the hole, but it does travel downhill at the end for the green.
I threw a ESP Force. I mean, some people, they can get there. I mostly just try to play a hyzer, just lay it up towards the middle, I mean, if I give myself a look, I give it, but...
Yeah, it might look like you hung out a little wider right than you probably wanted to. Otherwise, it would have been right in the mouth.
And Cale smashed this.
I mean, like, Cale's...
Oh, that's what he hit.
That was a weird reaction.
He hit that rock right in the middle. If he was about a foot further, he was going to be parked. But it just missed, just short and hit that.
Rob's on a really pretty shot here.
That's a great shot.
Yeah, kind of that's where a lot of people will finish, right into that area there. There's a little water collection that happens there. But yeah, Cale would have had a really nice finish, I think, on his disc and put him close to that circle's edge. Josh,
with
really
a
nice
great
line. Yeah, I like that line. Really pushes that fairway more.
And
there's that water
down.
collection we were talking about.
And that's casual.
Yep.
So they can take relief from it, or they can jump in the puddle.
Yeah, it's nice and muddy too if you do want to get in that puddle. Again, tricky little fast green. Don't want to do too much with it. There's a tree line on the right you're trying not to hit.
Ooh,
Rob gave that a really good bid. Yeah,
Holy.
From 100 feet too. Looks like Josh might be taking that casual relief. Oh, let's go. Let's go.
Oh my. Just off the front of the cage.
That was a great look to it from how far he was. That was easily over 100 feet.
And I just laid it up. I didn't really have a line at the bucket, so.
Cale still has a putt.
He hit that rock right there, unfortunately. Otherwise, he would have been basted. So, but I mean, he still got a probably 40-foot putt. Boom!
Oh, let's go. Is that Terry in the back?
That was me, dude. I'm always happy when people make jumpers. I mean, when anyone's playing well, I'm always cheering for him.
And we always can hear Terry too, so we know he's cheering.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I want everyone to be able to hear me on the course. Tapping out for my 3.
Yeah. Got Cale with that bonus. Nice eagle. Really fun to watch. You don't see it very often on this hole, but it's doable.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's kind of a soft par 4, but it's definitely a great eagle.
Mm-hmm. Looks like everybody else tapping in their birdies. Yeah, pretty shot.
Just enough to get it over that rim. Okay, with the lone eagle, everyone else with 3 or birdies.
Yep. And Cale getting that lead back on Terry. It's kind of the hole I feel like. This is kind of Cale hole.
Mm-hmm.
Just feels like his type of shot. This is hole 12. Got about 280 feet. Like I said, this is just that straight mid-range that Cale loves to throw. If we see what he did last round, he kind of held it on the right side of the fairway, let it flip up and turn over, and I expect him to do a lot of the same this round. I don't know if I think the hole slightly plays downhill. It feels
a
like
little
it does.
bit, a little bit downhill. Also, I mean, you're off the start, you're hitting about a 20-foot gap, and then it looked like he got a great kick. I think he hit that tree right off to the right there, and it kicked him to probably 25 feet, so that was a great kick.
That tree was like good 80 feet away, too, so it's not like it was close to the basket, but close. That was a weird direction hit, but I think he still would have had a circle's edge putt.
I'm throwing the Big Z Luna again.
I
threw a little bit of juice on it.
I think Terry might be one of the only people throwing a putter on this hole.
They just have a lot of glide.
And he's probably about circle's edge, maybe just outside.
I should have probably threw a mid-range.
Rob hooking it on the right. You don't want to kick right here because it can be tough getting up and down. But he just weaves through, and he's probably circle's edge just inside the circle. I think we've been seeing Josh throw this purple ghost a lot. I believe it's in base plastic.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize, I don't know what that is myself. But he throws this thing nice and straight.
Might hit that right gap right there.
Yep. And sometimes this hole you want to miss by a little more than a little, because if you miss by a little, you just seem to hit those 2 trees that guard it. If you miss by more than a little, you just kind of sneak by them and still give yourself a 20-footer.
Hopefully I don't walk this in.
Or hopefully you walk it in and it stays in.
Well, about 40, 45 feet.
Yeah, but he knows Cale's close.
Oh.
So let's put
I walked it in. I walked it in that time.
And he's feeling good here. He knows that Cale's playing a good round, and he knows that he needs to hit some putts if he wants to keep it close.
Yeah, I was really happy with that.
And Josh probably just around circle's edge.
Oh, he tried leaning that one in.
Yeah, that was a tough putt. He doesn't straddle very often, so it's not normally his style.
There we go, Rob.
Yes, sir.
And Cale about 20 feet.
Yeah, definitely one you expect Cale to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Just got the pressure put on him by Terry. You don't want to let Terry tie him for the lead.
There we go, dead center.
Yep, straight in. Josh will be cleaning up the lone par here, it looks like, but he's still got a little meat left on this bone. Probably got about 16 feet left. Not a gimme by any means.
Great putt.
Yep, solid. Took his time, lined it up.
Hey,
yeah, let's go.
I finally got one to walk it in.
Just looked right.
Still one back. Cale's in the lead, and then we got Josh at 14 down, and Rob is picking it up at 11.
Brings us into hole 13, last hole of the first half here. 230 feet, par 3. Just want to keep the disc straight. Very tight fairway here, but it's not a very long hole, so it's still one you want to kind of get up there, give yourself a putt. Very tricky green as it tails off very quickly to the left and long, and if you get past it, you're giving yourself a good 30 to 40 foot putt back.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you want, that kind of turnover putter shot that stays straight, though. And Cale weaving through a little bit. He might even have himself a putt there.
I'm throwing the pro line, or not the pro line, but the first run Proto Luna.
This is more of that base plastic one that's kind of beat up and goes
it's
straight.
It's like the Jawbreaker CT.
Okay. And those are the trees. You just got to get past those trees and you're fine. And he kicks straight left, and I think he's not going to be too encumbered there, but I don't know if he'll have much of a putt either for his two. Again, tricky shot because you're throwing that understable putter, and you're trying to push that tree line on the right, but keeping it straight the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
Rob looked like he threw it a little low, but I think he kept it straight enough and just high enough that I think it'll be an easy up and down at least. If not, maybe a look. I don't know if Josh is throwing that purple ghost again or not.
I think it might be.
Yeah, looked like it tailed off a little to the left, a little short. Looks like this is where Rob ended up with that low shot that he had. As you can see, he had a good line, but didn't have quite enough height. And this is a scary run. Wow.
Yeah. I think he's just out probably 35, 40 feet from there.
Yeah, that's a long comeback putt. I'm a little surprised he ran that as hard as he did. I feel like Rob's usually pretty good, smart course management.
Mm-hmm. And I know Cale is probably within inside the circle, so I got to give this a good bid.
Yep. This is a long one, too. This is a good 50 feet or so, or more even. Straddle putt out of the edge of the woods, and a very tricky green. Belly flopper. Oh, that looked so good.
Just short.
Yeah, had a really good line to it. Just tailed off early, and he's still got 20 feet left for his.
I mean, luckily it didn't get up and roll further, but I mean, wish it would have stayed closer.
Yeah. And Josh from about 30, 35 feet, and he's got a lot of trees in his way, but it looks like he's lined up and has a shot at it. This would be a good putt if he could hit it. And
it looked like it kind of just fell out of his hand right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of wind in there. I wonder if he just got knocked out of the air.
Looks like he's got a low window.
Yeah, it's Cale up on the right side of the hole. Probably about 25 feet.
Oh, great putt.
Nice catch there by the basket. Again, putting from his chest or so with that spin putt again. Coming in handy.
He was down that in today.
Maybe I need to put a spin putt in my bag. I don't know.
It comes nice. I got him from like 60.
And Rob, very tricky par putt here from about 35 feet. And those branches didn't really let him get the height he wanted.
I got about 15, 20 feet left. Hoping just tap it in.
Yeah, it should be easy work for Terry. We'll be losing a stroke to Cale, but there's still lots of disc golf left. We're only halfway done with this round. And again, as we're finishing up here, the first half of the second round of the Forest Fury Open, presented by Tylor, Igou, and the Kaposia Pro Shop with our premier sponsor, Legacy. Again, really fun card that we've had. A couple of our Minnesota locals that we don't get to see or hear much of, as well as a couple mainstays like Cale and Terry. And it's been a really fun battle to watch between Cale and Terry. Cale finished at 25, Terry at 23 for the first half of the round. We still got 13 holes left, so make sure you return back for the second half. Again, course is looking great thanks to Kaposia Pro Shop. One of our oldest courses in Minnesota, one of the most prestigious courses as well, too. Appreciate you guys hanging out with Terry and I. It's been fun.
Thanks, guys. See you hopefully for the second half.
Parsay Productions. Let's go.